Hello and welcome to episode 146 of Nolo Time. My name is Joel Velez, and with me, very excited, is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
I'm pumped, man. What's up? Good to be with you
Yeah,
again.
good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah. Doing well, healthy, happy. Going into the weekend, so really happy.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Hey, I know the feels on that one, man. Yeah, lots of stuff going on though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we could have breaking Star Wars news as we record tonight. So,
We don't know. Could happen.
Joe, before we go ahead and keep going, I want to go ahead and thank everyone that's been watching us live on Facebook. I think the reaction has been unexpected
Yeah.
to me, so we really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, keep watching us, and I hope that you can be entertained and maybe learn something you didn't know that you didn't know. So there you go. Hopefully, Joe, tonight we will not have any audio issues
I know.
because you jinxed it last
I know.
week.
I'm straight up. I'm like, I think we have better audio than a lot of podcasts. And then I'm listening to the playback. I'm like,
dude,
whoa.
dude, yeah.
That was crazy.
Play was rough. I mean, the video was like just your audio was good, but just low.
Yeah.
Hopefully this week we got that under control. But yeah, dude, what's up, man? What you been up to?
Well, I've been super busy, so there's not been too much I've been able to do. I'm back again on that DC Universe online, trying to binge through the Death of Superman and the Reign of Superman. Those kind of like back-to-back animated movies they made in the same universe. If you've seen Justice League War, that kind of kicked off their first of like their new animated kind of world of Justice League characters and this continues on the Death of Superman and the Reign of Superman. Those continue off of that Justice League War film. So everything that happened with Darkseid and whatever like carries into it, which is pretty cool. So I like that like as an animated world, they have just that an actual world as well with their movies connecting. I think that's really cool and awesome.
Cool.
Looking forward to seeing some more of their new animated stuff. We'll get into talking about some DC news later on, but I know Death in the Family, they're supposed to be working on doing an adaptation of that again sometime soon. There's another Superman movie, I think, that just came out recently as well that they're probably going to bring into that app too. But with that being said, dude, that app's going to die.
I think so. Yeah.
They just announced that the Titan show is going to end up being moved now to HBO Max, which just is a nail on the coffin. I'm not saying that that was the best thing or something, but that was a huge staple for them starting off. So if every show is being put on there, or even like Stargirl being shown on CW, so yeah, I'm enjoying it while it lasts. While you're in quarantine, you binge watch stuff where you can, and had this app before that. So yeah, that's kind of my it's kind of my song, kind of my story at this moment. Go through it as I can. What about you, man?
Cool. Not much, man. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima still.
Nice.
That game is dense, bro. It's dense. Like I went back to I don't like I said, I don't want to spoil it. I really don't want to go into details of what I'm doing, right? But I went back to another area and kept doing some side quests, and it's funny because the even with the side quests are I find them really engaging. Not like because they're not fetch quests, so I really do enjoy that. So we've been going back and forth doing that. Did a couple of story missions, but maybe over the weekend I'll do some more. One thing I'm looking forward, Joel, I'm looking forward to actually watching High Score on Netflix. It's I heard it's fantastic, and it's basically like a series of documentaries on gaming. So I'm looking forward to watching that. There's one about the console wars, the SNES and Sega Genesis
Ooh.
wars back in the 90s. So I'm looking forward to actually checking that out. I heard there's some other ones on I think Roberto Williams from Sierra Games. So I'm looking forward to watching that. I'm a big video game history nerd, so I would definitely really enjoy that. So looking forward to watching that. But yeah, man, Ghost of Tsushima, highly recommend it. It's a good game, Joe. It's a good game.
I look
Um,
forward to playing it eventually.
yeah, I know you will. We can probably just segue into just
Yeah.
like our first topic that we have tonight, It's basically that I don't know where, dude. They just went ahead and announced multiplayer. So it's weird because as far as I understand, there's not many details other than that it is a four-player co-op campaign of sorts. We'll see how that goes, but I think that's all the details that we have, right? I don't think they've really said anything else.
Right, co-op online. I don't fully understand how it's gonna work,
Yeah.
but it's cool because it's an
It,
added feature that we did not expect initially.
yeah, and it looks like they're going to take more on what it's the mythical part of the samurai and the Japanese gods and the Shinto gods and all that. So it looks like they're going to go more into that versus the game being, I mean, as grounded as you can probably get, with not without being like unplayable. It's like because seriously, guys, like reality is unplayable. Like if you're going to make a game on real life, that game's gonna be it's worse than Battletoads, because that game's gonna be terrible. Yeah, hard graphics are great, but the gameplay is too hard. It's like, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, because the main game does not have any of those like mythical elements. Kind of like what I guess the Assassin's Creed Origins. Remember that had
Yes.
that DLC that it was like Egyptian gods and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So it's probably gonna be kind of like that, where
You can go
they're
crazy with it. Doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah, and they can probably just do their own thing. So I'm looking forward to that. It drops this fall, free if you already have the game. So that's good. Um, but yeah, Jill, do you want to go into a mandatory Star Wars Star Wars update real quick? Just like 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, yeah, of
Did
course.
you watch the video from this
I
week?
did, I
Okay,
did.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's throwing out some stuff now again. Like he does
It's
not hold back,
nuts.
and he's given timelines. Which I mean, I'm making predictions on this show, not quoting any sources. I have zero insider information,
Yep.
and I'm saying, look, I think that by the end of August, maybe going to early September, that there would be some kind of Star Wars news. This
Yeah.
guy's like saying, "Oh, it's definitely happening. Something's coming by there." And
He's saying that John
Lucas
Favreau's
working on
watching his videos and hanging out at his streams and
yeah, and watching that George Lucas is gonna be working on the next of The Mandalorian or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I listen what this guy's saying. I love
like
his passion. It's super
yeah.
entertaining.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know what else to say to that.
It's like fanboy dreams sort of thing, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
it's like dream scenarios what he's putting out there. Uh, uh,
And the thing that gets hard for me is when it's like,
yeah,
and I'm not trying to discredit the guy, but I'm just saying, like, what's hard for me is when he's like, listen, I have a source that heard from a guy who's on the set of this thing, and
yep,
I'm like that's start getting real mucky. When you
yeah.
start getting in any type of insider ball, that becomes for me not. I'm not confident enough to put that stuff out there. He probably is hearing this stuff from somebody, but
Yeah.
that's who that somebody and their validity. He's throwing a lot out there on it.
Yeah, what I found really interesting on this one is that he was saying that they basically had an NBA type bubble for Mando.
Yes.
Yeah, at I guess what was an abandoned Air Force base or something like that, where they took one of the hangars and did a studio. Yeah, go ahead.
And doing back to back season 3 and season 4.
Yeah, correct. Because they're trying to fast track it. That
Right.
way, yeah, that way they can just do it. And I think, in my opinion, based on what we've heard, and we're not gonna go into details because we don't want to really spoil Mando season 2 for anyone, and I don't want to spoil it for myself. I mean, I've heard some things, but I haven't gone
I've seen a
deep into
lot.
this rumors, right? Because I really don't want to spoil it. But based on what we've heard, and based on the speculation and teases by Dave Filoni and whatnot, what's gonna happen on this season's big, and it's gonna basically like dictate the future of Star Wars moving on. So if they manage to actually come in and do a bubble type scenario to film the next two seasons where they can keep leaks to a minimum, I think that's brilliant. So if that's true, it's great, right? I guess we'll find out soon enough. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, like this week was nuts. Like that video was crazy. And just in case, guys, we're talking about Overlord DVD on YouTube. If you look up the channel, he has a character that basically. We're not gonna say the name. We're family friendly. We're a
That's
PG
right.
podcast, Joe.
That's right.
So, um, basically, he allegedly has and knows someone that knows an insider or someone that works at Lucasfilm, and has been feeding him information for the last what, like 2 months now, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
Supposedly he has multiple people in that. Now he's
Yeah,
like, I heard from this person, then I heard from this person, so it must be true.
yeah. Like supposedly, like Disney people are hanging out at his streams because they're trying to get a feel of the fan base. The big one this week, Joel, too, that he said that basically like Kennedy is not involved with anything like at all anymore. Like that's done. Basically, like, well, that's good if you ask
But if
me.
that's true, why wouldn't you have already announced that?
Well, the thing is that she hasn't been
Her
like,
contract ends.
well, she hasn't. So think about it. Last time we saw Kennedy was for the premiere of Rise of Skywalker. She literally vanished after that, dude. It's been what, 8 months, almost 9 months. We have
Yeah,
not heard or seen of Kathleen Kennedy at all, dude.
I know.
If you think about it, like if you put two and two together, there's some like there's just just by reasoning it, right?
Oh
It
yeah, I
just makes
agree.
sense, yeah.
I agree.
So no, what he's saying just purely makes sense. And if you're a fan of Star Wars, you would definitely enjoy this. So yeah, that five. I said 5 minutes. That's what we did. So yeah, mandatory Star Wars update. There you go.
And as we record this, there's a very strong possibility that the season 2 trailer is going to be dropping. This is Thursday night, so
Yep,
there's rumors that either today or Saturday, this thing's going to drop. So
correct.
we'll find out. Could be while we're recording. We'll let you guys know. Stand
So
by.
if it's while we're recording, unfortunately, I haven't created a scene on OBS that I can actually share the video, and I don't want the video. I mean, I don't want the podcast taken down, right?
Right.
So we will react to it, but you will not see the video. So you can probably put two and two together if it happens, right?
That's right.
But Joel, let's go ahead and talk about the teaser for the Snyder Cut Justice League. It's coming out on HBO Go next on HBO no on HBO Go HBO Max next year. I gotta get used to that name. Um, a very short teaser. It was like what, 30 seconds maybe.
Quick.
They did show a few of the new scenes or scenes that were cut originally from Justice League. One scene showing Superman looking over the monument, the destroyed monument that got destroyed when they were fighting Doomsday or Doomsday. So it looks good. I mean, it's soups. They definitely changed the filter on that movie,
Oh
man.
yeah, colors are gone.
Colors are gone. Colors are gone. So yeah. So as soon as you see it, it's like, yeah, the colors are gone. That's good. You can see how subdued like Wonder Woman's costume looks when that and when they do like that pan shot. Is Cyborg, is his design different?
I
His
I
legs were different. I
I
mean,
can
to me they were.
Yeah, I didn't get a good enough look at that. I was just more interested in seeing him actually playing football. It's like, this is cool.
They
Like
did
we're
show him, yeah.
actually gonna get like his origin story that was completely cut from the movie,
Bro,
except
that
for like a quick shot of him on the news. I was like, come on, like
that
the reason
all
we don't
got
care about the
cut.
character is because you didn't show anything of him.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy how all of that got cut,
Yeah,
dude. Um, yeah. So we saw that. It's all good and great, and things that we like. Not much to say there. I mean, I guess we'll find out over the weekend because they're
Saturday.
teasing. Yeah, they're teasing a lot of stuff happening on Saturday, 22nd. So we shall see. Um, Joe, I'm pondering if we should jump into Xbox now or
I'm fine with it because I know it's a hot topic, but
You know what? Because we only have a few things for from the DC stuff. We can talk about it, and then we'll talk Xbox and gaming. Um, we saw a poster for the Batman. That's great.
yeah, it's designed by Jim Lee, so it's got the very comic book aesthetic, and that's what they're going for. Like this super like the red
I like
colors
the red.
pop,
Yeah.
right? So the same thing with that little test footage that came out of Pattinson in the suit, where it was with that red lights or whatever over the suit. Same thing we're
Yeah,
seeing
you're
again here
right.
is a lot of red constantly going. A lot of people's response right away is that they're finally giving a very heavy Noir kind of Batman feel. It's to me, it's I'm not trying to like. I feel like every time something new comes out with Batman, people are like, "Oh, that's different. That's interesting." I think that's the cool thing about Batman. Like we all recognize who Batman is. We recognize so long as he's got the ears, the cape, the symbol on the chest. Like even that's changed. Like it's still recognizable that's Batman, no matter how much they make changes. I just like to see the creativity, and this Batman does not look like it's a copy and paste of any of the other Batmans we've seen before. So pretty cool design. I look forward to seeing it in actual film and not with the red filters on it. But regardless, I understand like this is a theme for the movie, and I get it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool look.
And we saw. I mean, we've seen the suit. Like I think
Yeah, photos.
one of
Yeah.
the last times that we saw each other was when we saw the suit
Wow.
in person.
Yeah, we're like
We're
having lunch or whatever, and I'm
yeah,
like, hey, you see this?
we were having lunch, and I was like, oh look, it's the suit, and it looks okay. It looks weird because it looks like very like rudimentary, but it looked good. Very
Yeah,
grounded. So
he's got like those
yeah,
military like looking like sleeves or whatever, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah. The big one, Joe. Again, Batfleck lives. I told you. I did not tell you this. That if they move the right pieces, he's gonna be back.
You did.
Urgh. Let's go. Let's go.
Th- This was a shock to me, dude.
Yeah.
I welcomed one, but a shock
Yeah. A good
nonetheless.
shock, right? Yeah. So Batfleck, Ben Affleck asked the Batman is back basically on for the Flash movie, which
Yeah.
Joe was saying that's not never gonna happen. It's like, dude, I think that Ezra Miller video that's probably a hoax. It has to be like a April Fool's hoax or something.
I think I actually think that they're gonna address it on this fandom. I'm not for certain on it, but because of the fact of the matter is, when this movie comes out, it's not a little small independent movie. It's a very big movie.
Yeah.
So when he goes before the larger press, if they don't address it now, that video is going to get resurfaced, and like you have to be able to say whether it is a hoax, whether it's not a hoax, whether it's whatever. Even though it ended up coming out later on, like you started reading stuff, like it seemed very. There's more like stories behind it that started coming out that seemed very troubling. Here's my thing with that. I'm not going to go off on a tangent on it, but so you remember that this guy from the TV show, the Flash TV show, that he got fired for some tweets that he put out like 7, 8 years ago, or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So he gets so
Yeah.
he gets fired for some tweets or whatever he said years ago. Okay, understandable. You're allowed to do that as a company if you don't feel that it matches their thing or their who they are, right? Okay, but then you've got this guy who has video footage of just like during a pandemic, you know, doing what he did to this lady on video, and you're like, nah, we'll
It's
keep you.
hilarious.
This guy from 8 years ago,
But
we'll put out a statement like the cast is responding, but this guy put like a video.
Stephen Amell
Yeah,
came out and says
everybody's
like,
saying
"Oh
something, but then
yeah,
like this thing, like there's like footage of this going down. It's like, oh, and then like stories started coming out later on that you guys look on the internet, so it got weird. But like, I'm like, you have to address is my point, right? Like I feel like if you don't address it now, it could resurface, and then you're gonna have a hashtag boycott the Flash. I'm telling you, they will come for you if that happens. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm glad the movie's still coming, because the Flashpoint's a really cool story. And I love that they're getting multiple Batmen in the movie. That they give us first, Ben Affleck, who would make sense because he's was the first one to make that Justice League connection with Flash, and that's the first Batman he knows. So having him, the original Batman that Flash is used to, and then another Batman, Michael Keaton coming in. I'm like, can we add in Christian Bale at some point? Can there be the next bit of news that jumps at some point that Christian Bale's in this movie? And at that point, you guys have beaten Marvel to the punch of having the
Yep.
Spider-Verse on film, and you've got three. Oh my goodness, dude! You know how much money they would make from that?
Yeah.
That's why I bet you they threw a ton of money at Ben Affleck for this one movie.
Yeah.
Just to make
That's
that
definitely a possibility. Like I didn't see it that way, but now, yeah, dude, it could happen. I'm sure. Like Christian Bale, right? He's a weird dude,
He's a crazy guy.
but I'm sure that if the right again if the right pieces are there, he's probably in. And
Throw him a
whoever,
ton of money for like 2 scenes.
okay, so here I go. Right, DC. We've criticized DC. We've beaten it to a pulp, right? But ever since the AT&T takeover finalized, dude, whoever's making the choices is very well informed with what the fans want. And that is, you know what? I am so happy for DC fans because now, man, like these guys are making the right moves. They're getting the right people. I think they're doing a great job, man.
They got momentum.
Absolutely. And that's the same problem or concern that I have with Star Wars, right? So Star Wars now is where DC was back when Justice League was going to come out.
That's a good comparison.
So like they didn't know what to do. Oh, this movie's not connected. Oh, this thing's gonna be a separate thing. Oh, it's a multiverse of things now, and we're gonna do all this crazy stuff, and you're gonna like it. So we're gonna push an agenda and Joss Whedon and all this stuff, right? So
Backfires.
yeah, and which it already did in Star Wars land. You know, it's already done. Like I'm sure, dude. I'm like they haven't come out and said anything, but I'm pretty sure that Amber Heard's out, like out.
She's supposed to be at this event.
Um,
She's supposed to be her and Momoa are supposed to be at this event. So we'll see, dude.
she's gonna get booed. She's gonna get booed, bro.
Well, I mean, it's pre-recorded, so
Oh,
it's not a lot.
that's right.
Pre-recorded,
She
so
got lucky.
Well,
Well,
listen,
people
dude.
I mean, they'll get feedback, right? Because that
Right.
video's gonna go on YouTube, and if they get like 1 billion dislikes and Amber Heard this and that, and
I don't think they care. I don't think they care, dude.
man.
But yeah, like I mean, especially if they don't care about Ezra Miller doing this thing, that they
Punching a
don't
woman
care
in-
about this. You know,
Like suplexing a woman at a Walmart or whatever it was.
gee whiz. They don't care about that, then hashtag DC don't care.
Oh my
Man.
god!
I don't know, dude. No, I agree. There's definitely going to be some negative backlash,
Yeah.
regardless that they're going to be going through. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean,
got you.
but she's supposed to be there, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But I mean, this event was going to have fandom is going to be packed with stuff.
Yeah.
And I've already gone through and created my schedule of stuff, so I'm gonna, get my notifications for everything that goes on there. It's 24 hours only. If you don't catch it within that 24 hours, that thing gets shut off. You will not be able to rewatch it unless they leak it on the internet and they don't actually have the privacy bots try and take it down. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're expecting a lot, dude. There's supposed to be footage from the Robert Pattinson's The Batman. That's what they're telling us. That's the longest panel going on at Fandom. That's 30 minutes.
Yep.
We're supposed to get footage of Suicide Squad in a trailer, and then obviously we'll get a full trailer for the Snyder Cut too. So, yeah, man.
Nice. Just going back to Star Wars.
Oh man, I thought that was our 5 minutes.
No.
we love Star Wars.
That's a rant, right? This is a rant. That was Overlord DVD. This is a rant. Like whatever shake up WB or AT&T went through to get this ball rolling in the right direction, this is what needs to happen to Star Wars. Start listening to the fans, give the fans what they want, and that's it. That's all. Dude, how easy is that? You have the most profitable, the best, one of the, I mean, arguably the biggest movie franchise in the world. Just give fans what you want, and you will print money.
And
So
they don't have to worry about a trilogy right away, right now.
no, they can just do
You do another
spin-offs.
Rogue, like how
Do,
Rogue One was a really good
do
movie. Just
spin-offs.
focus on just make one good movie right now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you need to be thinking about. Don't be thinking about, oh, we need to
Let's do a
one good
trilogy.
movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, a random question for you, Star Wars related.
Okay.
So you know how they have this Cassian Endor series that's becoming to Disney Plus also,
Yeah.
right? So I like Rogue One. I don't think that series deserves to be on Disney Plus. Would you rather have a Cassian and Endor series? I hope I'm saying his name right. Would you rather have
Andor, yeah.
that Cassian series, or would you rather have a General Grievous series?
Like backstory, General Grievous.
Anything.
Nah, I'll get Cassian.
The reason I ask a question like that is because like I would rather I feel like they're shying away from prequel stuff. Like they just want to do the more recent things that are coming out. I feel like there's so much in the prequels that they could go back to and give a one-off series and have really strong, that could be like, 6, 7 episodes or something.
Well, I
But they
think
would probably get a better
yeah.
response off those kinds of things than like
I
characters that are
yeah.
average, right?
Well,
Like
I think
they don't need to go for average right now.
yeah, yeah. I think they're gonna bring prequel stuff when they do Kenobi,
I hope so.
because that seems to be like the. I mean, there's like Hayden Christensen's supposed to be in the show. Like, how else are you gonna? Or is he gonna be Vader? I don't think he's gonna be Vader. I think he's gonna be Anakin in flashbacks. And
No
I
more
think
Ray Park.
no more A Park. But hey, you know what? It's whatever. Um, we can. We got the we got the voice actor. It's good. It's whatever. Just put in
Sam
makeup.
Witwer.
Yeah, Sam Witwer. He looks the same, so it's fine. Um, so I think that they're gonna start like, all right. Here's my theory. Star Wars theory time, Joe. Not our trademark. It's already trademarked by someone that does a way better job than we do.
Amazing.
so
Amazing.
so there's that, right? Um, I I think that Mando season 2, there's a character, two characters that are gonna be in Mando season 2 that connect to Kenobi via the Clone Wars. I mean, and so we'll
Rex.
probably see, yeah. So we'll probably see those come back and
Yeah.
intertwine, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, um, I'm excited for Kenobi. I'm still excited for Kenobi. Do you see that
I'm exa-
Ian McGregor has to give like half of the Star Wars money to his ex-wife now? Because
no.
he's getting divorced, and he has to give half of
Star
all
Wars is included.
the royalties for Star Wars.
That's interesting.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Interesting.
So
Well, so rumors are there's another. I'm sure you've seen this. Making Star Wars, their website, Making Star Wars, is a really good Star Wars website. If you guys don't read them, we're not paid by them or anything, but check out their stuff because they're legit. They put out an article out basically saying that like Kenobi may start shooting again, like within the next few weeks.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yep. Within
and they're pretty legit. So
like
I
early
think
next
they'll get
month.
back.
That's what I
Yeah,
heard. Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah,
good
man.
news.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, moving on to gaming, we can segue from
Star Wars.
yeah, from Star Wars and DC. DC, you're doing a great job. Thank you, DC, for listening. For 3 years, we've hammered you guys, but now we're showing
Well,
the love.
let's see them deliver though.
Yeah,
Right? They've got a lot of hype on news.
yeah,
Let's hope they deliver.
yeah, exactly. But there's a Suicide Squad game coming out, and I mean we've already talked about it, so they're gonna show that on Saturday. But you sent me a link yesterday, or an article earlier today, that it's gonna be basically Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. So I guess those posters that I showed you, that we talked about, were correct, if
Legit.
I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know how they're
So,
gonna do it, but
so
it sounds cool.
supposedly in this game you will be able to kill Aquaman. I don't know what they're planning on doing.
Killer Crocs, eat them.
I, I mean the Suicide Squad is a squad, but the Justice League, yeah, that mission's gonna be a failure. But it could
Yeah,
be a fun game.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they're doing. There has, and I'm not. We're not gonna go deep into it, but I know that Rocksteady has also been in the news for the wrong reasons as well. So we'll see how that goes with this game. But Joel, I saw that WB Montreal is also going to show the Batman game. Like they're
Yes, they
going to
have a
show two
WB
games.
Montreal surprise, but that we all know it's
We
Batman.
all know it's Batman because it's been rumored for forever that they're working
Court
on
of
a
Owls.
on Court of Owls. That was teased like what 2 years, a year and
It's
a
like a
half ago.
website or something, or I
It
remember it
was
was like
like
something, a
last E.
video or something came out.
Yeah, it was like either last E3. I may have been in the closet even back then. Like I don't even remember, man. That was a long time
Now,
ago.
what you guys think about in the closet, by the way? He literally was in
Hey,
a closet.
nothing. I mean, nothing wrong with that. You know, you do you. It's
No,
fine,
no, I'm
whatever.
just
But
saying, like, interpretation,
yeah,
context here. He means
yeah,
a literal closet he was actually
yeah,
in.
exactly. Yeah, I used to record in the closet when we recorded the podcast.
Right next to his wife's jeans.
Yeah, yeah. Very good, like sound dampening. It was good. Like sound quality in there was great. Miss it. I don't miss my back hurting for like 3 hours after that though. So so we'll see. Yeah, I mean this game has been teased forever. This is a rumor. We'll see. More than likely, we'll next week we'll have an update and we'll let you guys know. But Joel, let's go talk about Xbox. Okay. All right. So remember when Halo Infinite, like releasing Halo Infinite in that state was gonna be a waste of money.
I do.
So also the Series S may be an absolute waste of money. So there's again, take it with a grain of salt. This is leaked information. There's a supposed leak for the specs on the Xbox Series S. Basically the same CPU as the Series X, but it's a third of the power. So in essence, it is a PS4 Pro with a faster CPU, which is a good thing, right? Not only faster, I mean, this is an 8-core 16-thread CPU that's more than capable of handling pretty much any game out there right now. And games to come in the future. So just to give you an idea, basically this is the equivalent to a Ryzen 7 processor. Um, I have a Ryzen 5 on my machine right now. I have the 6-core 12 thread CPU. Um, and I am more than happy with that and I can run everything
That's
with
good.
with an old ass GPU. Um, but it works. I can run everything fine. Um, put 4 teraflops instead of 12 for the graphics processor. Also slower, less RAM. The specs for the Series X it's at 16 gigs or GDDR6 RAM. This is 10 gigs. PS4 Pro had 8, and I think it had like an extra gig for like OS instructions. That way, that's why the UI on the PS4 Pro runs a lot smoother than the regular PS4. Um, it's kind of concerning. They're saying that this is basically gonna be, a 1440p machine at 60. That's like if you're lucky, you could probably do that, right? Because you can get there's that Wipeout uh, Omega collection that came out for
Hmm.
PS4. Uh, it's also compatible with VR. The on a PS4 Pro, you can run that game at 4K 60 native 4K, not checkerboard scaling. So it's possible. Um, man, this thing they better not sell this thing for like $400, bro, because this thing's not gonna sell. This thing, like we talked about it a little bit, but this thing has to be cheap. Like this thing cannot be more than $300 if they plan to move any of these units. So I don't know if you saw, Joel. There was a not an ad, but a listing on Target.com for a PS not PS4, a an Xbox One S V2, like a version 2 of the Xbox One S going for $299. I So the yeah, last gen
That's what I'm once again. So you're telling me another version
of the
of a
S.
last gen is potentially coming?
Yeah, correct. So kind of like you remember when the Xbox One came out and they released that Xbox 360 that looked like an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe it's gonna be like a squared Xbox One just to make it look like the or maybe that's the tiny one that we're being like
That's
seeing
true.
mock-ups
That's
of.
true.
You know,
Mm.
I mean that would make sense
But
with no disk
why are
drive.
you trying to make like that'd be like trying to make a new PS4 Pro version right now. It's not
Not even.
necessary.
It would be like making
Not
a
even, yeah.
making like a super slim of the of the regular PS4.
I don't
I don't
understand.
understand, dude.
They don't even have the sales to back the demand for another.
Oh,
You might as well just put all your efforts in next gen. That's rough,
you're
man.
right. You're right. I didn't think about sales, man, because sales have been
Supply
like
and demand, it's economics. Like you would so do this if you actually had the financial numbers to say sure. But unless this is supposed to be like you're saying, this digital smaller box or something, that's going to be not what we're thinking it to be, and it will be much cheaper. And they're thinking this will help them get through the holidays. I don't know.
yeah. Thing is, right? Just going back, and I feel I don't want to keep batching Microsoft.
I just don't
It's
understand.
the same DC thing, right? The same thing. We bashed DC for 3 years. DC finally woke up, rose from the ashes,
Maybe,
right?
dude. We'll see if they deliver.
Yeah, I
News
mean,
is good.
news are good,
They've had
exactly.
two good movies, two last good movies.
Yeah, uh, but then we go. Here's the problem, right? Now you have a piece of hardware that's a third of the power of your like flagship device. So now you have to cater games that would work on both,
Yeah.
and that would not only work, that would work properly. So what when we talk about scalability, maybe this thing's gonna be like a 1440p max, will not do 4K kind of scenario. Um, and that way you can scale down games to 1080p 60 1440p 60, tops. um, like I gotta give you best example I can give you. There's PS4 Pro. A lot of games run at 1440p but not at 60, and that has to be with the CPU bottlenecking and all that stuff, because the CPU, like, honestly, they did a great job with the GPUs for last gen consoles or current gen consoles because the new ones aren't out yet.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the CPU, that CPU was just too anemic to handle the you know frame rate. To be honest with you, I mean, it was a problem. So a lot of the problems that PS4 Pro had may get solved by having this beefy CPU now, but having the same sort of like chip, graphics chip on it. Um, but that's and that's easily done, right? You can just scale this resolution, and don't force 4K, just force the 1080p, 1440p, and that's it, right? That's not a big deal. And if the CPU is the same, you don't really have to worry about changing your computations and all that. So at least that's fine. But you have to like graphically, uh, like you gotta be able to scale these games, right? Other thing, Joe, that I'm thinking, because we still don't have all the information on PlayStation. I doubt, I really, really doubt that AMD develop just a separate chip for this Xbox that they're probably not gonna sell a lot of, maybe they'll use this same chip for like a cheaper alternative for PlayStation.
Okay.
Maybe they're both doing the same thing. I mean, that's we don't know.
Yes.
That's just a guess, right? Um, because they're doing it now. I mean, granted that the chip on the PS5, like Mark Cerny got with AMD, and it's like, it is different in some areas, and this is just straight up like the custom chip that AMD is giving Microsoft. Microsoft has they do have the ability to just tell AMD, hey, make us a separate chip for this thing that's not as expensive,
Right.
but it's still the same size. Like it's still a 7 nanometer die and all that. So I don't know who's gonna buy this. Like I don't know if little Billy will like this. I don't know. Does little Billy have a 4K TV? Probably. They're cheap
I,
now.
I was gonna say, like, if you have asked me this 2 years ago, no, but 2020 and beyond, most people now only buy 4K if they got a TV.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Allegedly, the event that they were gonna have next week got pushed to September.
Which would be smart. It'd be a good call.
So next week is Gamescom, Joel. I think it's next Thursday. So we may have news. Like next Thursday, we may have like major gaming news, because there's rumors that like Sony's not gonna be there, but there's rumors that they're gonna do their own thing. Maybe we'll finally get pricing and pre-orders. Cause come on, cause the holiday season is like 2 months away.
I I need to know. I need to know my budget.
Yeah, you need to know your budget. Um, Also, allegedly, that Dark Souls remake, not Dark Souls, Demon Souls remake. It's a launch game too, because it's supposedly being rated in the Korean rating board. Put out a rating for it, and
Okay.
usually if Korea puts out like a rating for a game, the game is usually like a few months away. So yeah, man. Um, cool. So we'll see. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, the UI.
Yes, we do. We
That's
gotta
news.
look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So why don't you take that one?
Yeah, I mean I just ended up looking through some of the screenshots that I saw was put out there. Did they put a video out on that too?
Yes, they did. They
Yeah,
they
I
put a
just
video with developers. And
yeah,
it's
I saw it going on Twitter for a bit, and then I was looking around. I was like, okay, this is a nice UI. I actually say for them, it's not far off from what they already have in place. Um, and I've actually, generally speaking, I've actually liked Xbox's UIs. Like generally speaking, they're pretty clean. They're pretty nice.
except the
Can't
original
complain.
one. The original was
Except for the
awful.
original one, yes,
That was
yeah.
terrible.
But like when you, especially like you start going like 360, whatever, right
The
through, right?
original
You start,
360 wasn't good either.
yeah, that wasn't good either.
So
But,
yeah.
you're not wrong. I'm trying to give the guys a compliment, but but I do think that they're being pretty consistent on brand. Like you're gonna look at it and you're gonna know it's an Xbox. I will bet, and I'm not trying to make this PlayStation news. We're talking about Xbox's UI, what we know to be what the Series X is gonna be. But I can't help but feel that Sony might be radically different on their UI.
So I wanted to do it. So we did a test before we started the before we started the live stream, and basically the test that I wanted to do was share my screen so you could see, but Zoom started freaking out. But it looks almost exactly as the Xbox app for PC.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and put it on.
Tempted again.
No, I'm not gonna attempt it again, but I'm gonna at least try to do it in OBS, and we'll see. Yeah,
Okay,
there we
yeah.
go. On OBS, you can see it. So if you can see right now, you can see uh, basically what it looks like. So that new UI is very very similar to this.
Okay.
Well, you have some of your games here, Game Pass, and your options and all that. So very very similar. So yeah, man, it's interesting. It's pretty interesting what they're trying to do. Um, not entirely sure if that's finalized, but it definitely looks to me. It looks like a step uh, in the right direction. I've heard for forever that the UI on the Xbox One was has never been good, and I've used it and it's fine, but it's just not really intuitive as say the PlayStation. Like PlayStation, you turn on your console, your games are there. Um, Press the game, play, right? Xbox has a lot more digging. You have to like dig through like tiles and whatnot. Also, that tile stuff from like Windows 8 was terrible.
I remember the Windows Phone with the tiles and all that. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I remember
Windows
that.
Phone, Joe.
I
Yeah,
remember.
I think there. I think there's one around somewhere. I
Oh,
think I
you
don't
had
know.
one?
Yeah, my wife had one. I didn't.
Okay, okay.
I would refuse to get one of those things.
Yeah, they
Things
were
are
pretty popular for its time, and then people.
they were really easy to use
Right.
because they had like highlighted stuff like phone. It had a big phone button. It was pressed there, right?
Yeah.
But just it's like it's crazy um, how intuitive and user friendly like iOS is. Like
Oh
iOS, you
yeah.
give an iPad to a baby and they can figure it out. It's great. Um, the good thing about Android is that you can customize it, but then it's not as user friendly
No.
as the other
The
ones.
smart people like us, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, I used Android for many years before switching, but
Same.
it's just that iOS just freaking works,
You and I
dude.
switched the exact same time.
Yeah, yeah, we did. But yeah, iOS is just works, dude. It's just like, man, I haven't had a phone. I switched to iOS. I'd never had a phone crash, like not even once. Oh, you
Nice.
know what? I'm lying. I had one last week because I was trying to remove some apps from my phone, and then it started like
Uh,
locking up. But I restarted it. Like I just restarted it manually, and that's it. I didn't have to go through like, oh, like do a hard thing and press here and plug it into your computer. Right? I didn't have to do any of that. So that's cool. But yeah, man, UI is out there. It still looks fine. We'll see. And a big thing, man, is that I don't know, just going back and trying to figure out what they're trying to do. Like PlayStation came out with that ad, showing the potential that the dual sense has.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, man. And then developers are out there saying things that they can do with the dual sense, and
Developers,
develop
developers, develop. Sorry, I
Balmer, man.
Balmer
Yeah.
sweating over here.
So, yeah, let's go. Um, the Deathloop, that game that was supposed to come out, it was supposed to be a launch title and that got delayed. Got delayed this week. So the developers of that game, they were saying that they can actually program the trigger on the DualSense to actually physically lock
Hmm.
if your gun jams in the game. So like they're doing some really cool stuff with that. Bringing immersion to the next level. So man, we'll see where this goes. That's pretty cool. But just going back to Xbox, right, and just going back to Halo Infinite because that is the thing that has really thrown a wrench
Have
into
you
the
seen the
gears.
excuses that they started making recently, like the TV series or something threw off their folk? I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. So so part of that story was that a lot of time was wasted with like subcontractors and the TV show. So that actually corroborates the story that the subcontractors that were working there were like treated like crap and being overworked and like no benefits and yeah. So that that actually just puts two and two together on that story, and that seems to be the actual case. That seems to be what's happening. Um, but what's crazy is that I sent you a link earlier today for that Wukong game that's coming
I
out,
know.
made by an indie team in China, and this game looks like friggin' DMC or something. It looks like Devil May Cry. It's ridiculous. This game looks stupid, and stupid in the good way. And you compare it to Halo Infinite and how flat it all looked, and like I don't know if it was like art. I don't know if it was art direction, something, right? It's like something in because he doesn't like Halo Infinite. Like honestly speaking, it looks good. Problem is that it looks very generic.
Yeah.
It looks flat. It's like the art design behind. It's like there's no art design behind the team. It's like make grass. Grass is green, right? But there's no like rationale behind it.
You
It
wouldn't imagine they had the budget that I'm sure that they actually have. Like you would
apparently
think that they just spent, you know, what they did and just made as good a game as they could. But I mean, I'm sure that they had, you know, resources to do
so allegedly
stuff.
this is the most expensive game ever.
Whoa!
It's like at a $500 million budget.
And they're spending more by delaying it.
Well, the thing is that they've been working on this thing for 5 freaking years, dude. Five
Wow,
years, and
that's tough.
that's the same thing that happened to freaking Crackdown. How many times Crackdown 3 got delayed? And then for 5 years, everyone was wait for Crackdown 3 to show up. Gonna blow that PS4 out of the water. And in the meantime, we're getting like Horizon and God of War and Persona and Nier and all this stuff. And next year, Crackdown, wait for E3, and then
It
Crackdown
came out.
came out. It was a freaking dud.
You forgot about it, and that was
I,
it.
I totally forgot about, dude. I totally
Yeah,
forgot about it until I was scrolling through Game Pass and I saw it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
there. It's like
Man,
I'm not gonna play it, but it's there, right? I guess I should take advantage of Game Pass and play as many games as I can. I'm paying those $5 a month, until it goes up. When it goes up, that's it. I'm not gonna go into that. But yeah, man, that's the thing, right? That's honestly speaking, that's what that's what's been the problem. Is this Halo Infinite wrench that's been tossed in through to the gears, and now they don't have a killer app, and they were counting on having a killer app, and now they don't. I think it was the right choice ultimately. Unfortunately, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see, man. We'll have to wait and see. One more thing regarding Xbox, and I think this is the last piece of news that I have, is that through a Monster Energy like contest that Xbox is having, or basically a partnership or marketing thing that they have with Monster Energy. They were saying that, oh, we're gonna give X many Xboxes and whatnot. So if you do the math right, they actually put out how much money the contest is gonna cost. So if you put that money pool and you divide it by 600, I think is, or 200 or whatever, the winners are gonna be. It comes to $600.
wow,
So there is a possibility that the Xbox Series X is going to be $600,
wow.
and I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't want the PS5 to be $600, because that means that I'll have to wait over a year to get it. Because I don't.
600's a lot
It's a
because
lot of
you're not
money.
just spending 600 bucks. You're spending 600 plus. You gotta get another dual sense, and you gotta get another, two games at least, and probably
Headset
gonna get a headset.
at $1,000.
That $100, I was telling you about this. That makes a difference for me. Like if it's 499, we can have a discussion at some point.
Yeah.
$599. I don't know, man.
No, I got you, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I just don't want it to be that expensive.
And what's the all digital going to be for that matter? $100
It's a
difference
$100
again, or are we
difference.
talking like more significant? I don't know.
I don't think those drives cost more than $20.
Right?
The
Yeah.
4K ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Because DVD drives right now are like even standard Blu-ray drives are pretty cheap. Like
Yeah.
to manufacture, they're like maybe like $5. Um, but this my understanding of the like the three the, not the 3D but the 4K Blu-ray tech and whatnot, it seems to be a little more expensive. Um, I mean, we've seen how much is a 4K Blu-ray player right now.
Probably what,
Let's look
like
it up.
$80 is my guess.
Probably no more than that, dude. Let's see.
Yeah. Well, it's like a generic one, like just
Oh yeah, like if you're buying a generic one, yeah. Sony's still like $300.
oh yeah, I mean Sony.
4K Blu-ray player at Best Buy right now, 200 is the
That makes
cheapest.
sense.
It's a Sony. It's the cheapest one, yeah.
Hmm.
So oh actually Panasonic has one for 179, 4K Ultra HD with Atmos. Yep. Yeah. So 180 to 200 as the cheapest. Or a reference one like a Panasonic or a the Sony reference version, or if you're looking at something like Pioneer, that's probably going to be like $1,000. That's
Yeah.
usually like reference. They just go crazy on these prices. Though Sony reference is 500. They have it.
Wow.
Best Buy has it. Yeah. So yeah. So you're looking at anywhere from 200 to 500. But that's on a player, on a 4K Blu-ray player, Joe. That's $500 on a 4K Blu-ray player.
But the thing that, and this is like a whole nother discussion, like it's crazy to know that our phones cost more than
Yeah, I
some of
know,
these
but
things.
this
Like,
phone costs more than the computer I built. Seriously,
right.
yeah,
Like that's crazy to
it's
think about
ridiculous.
that.
Yeah, um,
Man.
yeah, phones are expensive. But you just don't see it, right? Because you just pay per month
Right.
and whatnot. You pay with your bill. But yeah, technically they are. Uh, and like iPad Pros are, super expensive too. But yeah, dude. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully next week when this
Yeah.
guys finally decide to show some pricing. Cause come on, guys, seriously.
So be a grand reveal.
Yeah. Um, yeah, seriously. Nintendo had a direct this week. It was like an indie show. I mean nothing of note really came out of it. I think oh yeah, Hades is coming out on the Switch this fall.
Mm-mm. Okay.
Hades made by Super Giant, the guys behind Bastion and oh man, I can't believe I forgot the name of that game that I really love. Oh no. Oh no, I'm going to look it up.
Live fact checking.
Live fact checking because I really like that game and I want to give it a shout out. Transistor. It's one of my favorite games from this gen, and it's available on everything. It's available on cell phones, PS4, Switch. I don't think it's on Xbox. It's not on Xbox, so it's not available on everything. PC. It's basically a tactical RPG with a very 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 good story and fantastic music. So one of my favorite games from this gen. Wanted to give it a shout out. So yeah, and it's probably like $5 right now. So
We
yeah,
need to do that episode, man. We need to do that episode
yeah,
where
we
we
need
go
to
back
plan
and
it.
talk about best of the generation.
Yeah, once we get the dates for the new consoles, we'll plan it to do it like the week before the consoles come out.
I
We'll
agree.
probably do that. We'll probably do that. But Joel, that is what I got, man. I don't see no breaking news on Mando. We're
Nope,
good.
I've been checking. We're good. So it's
Okay,
probably
good.
not today, probably Saturday, which means more than likely our next episode we'll have some more Star Wars stuff to talk about.
Mandatory
We'll
Star
see.
Wars update, man.
Yep, for sure. We're not mad about it. We love Star Wars.
Yeah,
Guys, with all that being said, thank you all so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in, watching, listening to our show here. We really appreciate you, and we want to say thank you. So if we would ask that you would go ahead and subscribe to our podcast version, which is on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on social media. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, thank you so much. If you're listening to this, yes, we're on Facebook Live. So go ahead and make sure you're a fan on our Facebook page. Also, go ahead and follow us on our Twitter and Instagram and Twitch accounts. Make sure if you have any questions, comments, or feedback that you go ahead and send it our way. We welcome it and appreciate it. So you can send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com.
do it
That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Send an email. Microsoft fanboys, we want to hear from you.
for sure. Yeah. Again, thank you guys for everyone that's tuning in on Facebook. We really, really appreciate it. We've definitely seen a difference, and we really, really wanted to thank you guys. So, yeah, we'll plan something special, Joe.
Hey, you never
Because
know.
you know what, I think it's been good. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Hopefully next week we'll have a bunch of other updates on DC and hopefully Gamescom. So until then, you guys wear a mask and stay safe. See you guys later.